Ever get that feeling, like when you're really into someone's music, their movies, whatever they do,
Mm-hmm.
and then, bam, you hear something about their personal life, and it's like, whoa, can't look at them the same way again.
Yeah, it's like that curtain gets pulled back,
Yeah,
right? You see a different side of things.
exactly. And today, that's kind of what we're doing, diving into this whole situation with Sean Diddy Combs.
Okay, this should be interesting. He's been in the news a lot lately.
Big time. And honestly, it's a lot more than just your average celebrity scandal.
Yeah, and for him, it's not like this is brand new territory either, right? I mean, he's
Right.
had run-ins with the law before.
Right, right. Back in the day, even. It's different. It connects the dots, paints a picture of this pattern of behavior going back years.
And that's what makes this so concerning. It's not just isolated incidents anymore. It's starting to look like a pattern, and that's never good.
Exactly. So we're going to break it all down, all the lawsuits, the allegations, that whole FBI raid situation too, the works.
Sounds like quite the deep dive.
Oh, it is. And we got to remember, this isn't just about Diddy, right? This is about power, how people use it or abuse it,
For sure.
and what it means for us, the fans. Like, can we separate the music from the man when things get this messy?
Big questions.
Big, big questions. So let's jump right in. First up, we're going to lay out a timeline of these legal cases because it gets complicated fast.
Timeline's a good place to start. Get a sense of how this all unfolded.
Totally. So the most recent one, May 2024, this woman, April Lampros,
I've heard that name.
she's alleging this whole pattern of coercive behavior from Combs, like going on for years,
Coercive, meaning?
like using his influence, his power to pressure her into stuff, ultimately escalating to assault multiple times, she says.
Yeah, that's heavy. And this isn't the first time we're hearing accusations like this, right?
Sadly, no. Cassie Ventura, remember her? Diddy's ex,
Oh, yeah, right. She filed a lawsuit too, didn't she?
end of last year, 2023.
Mhm.
And hers had some similar claims to Lampros's.
Alleging the same kind of thing. Abuse, assault.
Yeah, and that's what's so disturbing, this potential pattern emerging. And then there was that CNN footage, you remember?
Vaguely, it was all over the news, though.
Security camera footage seemed to show Diddy getting physical with Ventura. Super controversial.
Right, and they settled out of court, so we don't know all the details.
True, but even in Ventura's statement after, she talked about still processing the trauma, so clearly it was a really rough situation.
Yeah, no doubt. It's easy to get caught up in the legal back and forth, but at the heart of it, there's real pain, real people hurting.
No doubt. And it's like this pattern, it seems to go way back. We're talking the early 90s now.
Oh, wow, really? That far back?
Yeah, there's this lawsuit from Joy Dickerson Neal filed in 2023, but she's alleging Combs drugged and assaulted her back in 1991.
Hold on, 1991. How is that even possible to bring a case like that now?
So New York, they had this temporary law, opened up a window for survivors of assault to file lawsuits, even if it happened a long time ago.
Makes sense. Sometimes it takes years for people to be ready to come forward.
Exactly. And there's another case, similar situation. This woman who stayed anonymous filed a lawsuit against Combs and Aaron Hall, the singer.
Wait, Aaron Hall too? Wow, that's a lot to unpack.
It is. And this woman, she claimed she was gang raped after some MCA Records event, either 90 or 91, around the same time as Dickerson Neal's allegations.
Man, that's awful. And this is all coming out now because of this legal window New York opened.
Exactly. And sadly, the accusations don't stop there. December 2023, another unnamed woman comes forward, files a lawsuit saying Combs drugged and gang raped her in 2003.
2003, so she would have been pretty young then.
17, the lawsuit states. And this is where I start to feel like, I don't know, there's a real darkness to this story.
Yeah, absolutely. Multiple accusations spanning decades, all pointing to this potential pattern of predatory behavior.
And it gets even darker, honestly. February 2024, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, music producer.
Oh, I know Lil Rod. He's worked with some big names.
Yeah, he files a lawsuit against Combs, and this one brings up a whole new layer of allegations, really disturbing stuff.
What do you mean new layer? What's he alleging?
Jones is claiming that Combs used his power, his connections, to coerce people, even saying Combs organized these things he called sex trafficking parties.
Sex trafficking party? Wait, hold on, what?
Yeah, those are his words. And he doesn't stop there. Jones goes on to allege that these parties involved underage women, drugs, the whole 9 yards.
This is huge. I mean, if this is true, we're not just talking about assault anymore. This is a whole other level.
Oh, exactly. And that's where the FBI comes in. So we're talking sex trafficking parties, underage girls. I mean, this isn't just some Hollywood gossip anymore, right?
No, this is serious stuff. And it's around this same time, February 2024, when things escalate even further, remember?
The FBI raids, right. on Diddy's homes.
Exactly. And we're not talking about a couple of agents showing up with a warrant. These were full-blown raids, both his Los Angeles and Miami properties.
Yeah, that was big news, seeing those images, agents everywhere, boxes of stuff being carried out.
It makes you realize this wasn't just a random sweep, you know? The feds, they don't mess around, especially not with something as sensitive as this.
Right, right. They must have been building a case for a while, maybe even before Jones came forward with his lawsuit.
Could be. And here's the thing, a federal investigation, that's a whole other ball game compared to those individual lawsuits we talked about.
How so? I mean, aren't they all kind of about the same thing in the end?
Not really. See, with a federal investigation, they're looking at whether Combs committed crimes that cross state lines.
Ah, okay, so it becomes bigger than just what happened in one place at one time.
Exactly. We could be talking about federal sex trafficking charges, racketeering even. The feds have a lot more power and resources behind them.
And the penalties, if he's found guilty, those are way more serious too, right?
Absolutely. We're talking potential decades in prison, massive fines, the whole 9 yards. This is life-changing stuff.
Wow, okay. So with all this hanging over his head, how's Diddy even responding to all of this?
Well, his lawyers have been pretty tight-lipped, mostly denying everything, which is typical in these kinds of cases.
Right, got to maintain their client's innocence, at least publicly.
Exactly. But Diddy himself, he has spoken out, saying he's disappointed, calling himself an imperfect person, but not a criminal.
But this is where it gets even trickier, because we're talking about serious, very serious accusations, but then there's Diddy, the artist, the icon.
Right, exactly. How do we, as music fans, as consumers, reconcile those two things?
Yeah, it's like, can you still listen to his music the same way, knowing what we know now, or what's being alleged at least?
It's a tough question, one that a lot of people are grappling with right now. And there's no easy answer, really.
No, definitely not. And that's kind of thing with these deep dives, right? We're not always going to have neat and tidy answers.
No, sometimes it's about raising the questions, making people think critically.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground here. But the big takeaway here, I think, is this. When accusations like these come out, got to listen. Got to take them seriously.
100%. And we got to engage with these conversations thoughtfully, carefully. There's nuance here.
Always is. So as this whole Diddy saga continues to unfold, and it seems far from over.
Oh, not even close.
Stay informed, keep asking those tough questions, and we'll do the same. Until next time, keep diving deep, everyone.